Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Verne, the Shape of Fantasy. We have got to solve 4 different challenges to get the hell out of these ancient ruins because we're trapped inside them. We've done got 2 more to go, starting with this one here.
Plaseia diced with death for us, facing ruthless creatures released by Hephaestus to stop her.
Sounds like we're getting a bit low on oxygen. So, what have we got this time? What is that? Some sort of skeleton up there?
I don't have a good feeling about this, but I can't see any other way out.
Okay, we've got like some sort of head on the wall.
The door! It's closing!
Oh!
Feet.
Oh no, okay. So we've got to get the hell out of here, have we? Ooh, okay, that was lucky. How do we... God, this is, Oh, there's like... Oh my god. That's actually really gory. Okay, let's give that a go. It looks like the, you get like a little red flashing light at the top when it's going to come down. Or if I imagine that. Let's have a look. Yeah, it definitely gives you a red flashing light. You don't get much time, seeing as you can't run. Okay, let's just get out of here. We're halfway done with the time. You can see the door. Oh, it's flashing! Ooh.
By a whisker. Don't give up now.
Oh, that was close.
VJ.
Alright, wow, okay, that looks like that basically did it, I think.
It's not the time to go back. I still have things to do here.
Okay, so that one wasn't really a puzzle in the sense that we had to like move anything around. It looks like that one was just a case of triggering the switch on the wall and then getting out before we got, you know, trapped in there forever. So this is the last one then.
After receiving the flame, mankind began to benefit from the power of imagination almost immediately. The jealous gods realized that it couldn't be taken back from them. So, to shift the balance back in their favor, they resolved to release fear to weaken them, strengthening the horrors that already dwelled amongst the human race. It must allude to Phobos, Plaseia's brother. Creative and destructive imagination, hope and fear. The last mural depicts a huge flame devouring a city.
Okay, so Phobos. Phobos is Plaseia's twin. As happened with most Atlantean primordial twin couples, he was her negative version. If Plaseia's presence stimulated creativity in humans, Phobos' excited fear and destructive imagination. At the beginning, in Atlantis, both siblings lived in balance. Creativity is necessary, but so is fear, since it drives us away from dangers. Nevertheless, when Atlanteans began to fret about supposed alien invasions that wanted to steal the Flame of Hephaestus from them, Phobos began to acquire an unimaginable power. Atlantis transformed from being a centre of cultural and knowledge exchange to an impregnable castle due to Phobos' influence. Even his sister was subdued by him, and was forced to inspire the creation of new weapons to defend their culture from the barbarians. Fear became horror and tyranny, and in the last term, Phobos' influence on the Atlanteans was responsible for the destruction of their civilization, since it blinded them through fear and forced them to spill all their resources to protect themselves instead of continuing to build for the greater good. Like his sister, Phobos was away from Atlantis when the explosion of the Flame of Hephaestus took place. They and other primordials became orphans all of a sudden, pushed to sort their lives without a home to return to. As time went by, primordials and their influence on mankind was identified with the Muses. Although we think of them as auspicious creatures, dreadful Phobos was also one of them. Throughout history, Phobos inspired the worst horrors that humans had ever witnessed: invasions, genocides, revenges. Now his influence models the destiny of the human race, while his sister Plaseia remains hidden and weak under his unstoppable march. Doesn't sound good. There's like a compass here as well, north, east, south, west, and the east and the west are on the wrong side. which is weird. And we've also got like a little sideways hourglass thing. I mean, there's probably a symbol that I should know, but can't place it at the moment, under north. So not sure what that's about and why the east and west are swapped around, but okay, we've got something here.
Now I see a mural of a great snake biting its own tail. It seems I have to decode some symbols.
The tail-biting snake is an Ouroboros.
It is.
It symbolizes the cyclical nature of the world, the eternal return, the wheel of creation and destruction in which mankind lives.
Yeah, and the Ouroboros seems to be a recurring theme in adventure games. We've also got it going on in Broken Sword 5 at the moment, which is pretty cool. So we've got like a compass here as well. East is in the right place on this one. And then we've got the Ouroboros, which has symbols on it. And actually I can see the symbol that we saw on the wall there. The sideways thing there. Align snake code. Hang on, so... Okay, so I think that's what we want, right? So north should be the sideways hourglass looking thing. It wasn't the one that's on northeast at the moment with the curved edges, I know that much. So select code box, select symbol. Okay. Select the code box of A and D. So what do we do then? If north is that, do we just put in what it says the other directions are? So like southeast would be like the box version of that? Is that what's going on here? Like that one? And then northwest would be that like weird diamondy one, I suppose, with the circles in the middle. That?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty simple once you know what you're doing, I guess. Ooh, look at this. So I guess seeing the sideways hourglass thing was key on that mural on the wall, wasn't it? Because without that, we wouldn't have known how to set the Ouroboros. Nemo can come in now. Is he going to leave the iMag out there? Apparently he is, yeah. Plaseia. Alright, let's read this. Goddess of Imagination. Actually, she is not a goddess, she is a primordial. This is how the Atlanteans knew those among them who, affected by a mutation, influenced emotions and ideas. Plaseia's presence inflamed the curiosity and creativity of those around her. In the golden age of Atlantis, her influence reached almost the entire planet. The spectacular Atlantean technological development would not have taken place had it not been for her. In those years of splendour, Plaseia lived as a celebrity, like the other primordials. The most prominent Atlantean personalities of her time longed to have her as an advisor, and ordinary citizens worshipped her as a goddess. Her public appearances were always highly celebrated. She received all kinds of gifts, which she always donated to the most disadvantaged among the Atlanteans. When the cataclysm that devastated Atlantis took place, very few primordials survived. Plaseia and her twin brother Phobos were two of the lucky ones, since they were both outside Atlantis when it happened. After that, Plaseia spent years in deep sadness. She had lost her home, the cradle of her civilization, and hundreds of years of knowledge and technology. Completely disheartened and orphaned, she wandered the world until she reached Mesopotamia, where her trail disappeared. Centuries later, in pre-Hellenic times, her cult momentarily resurfaced, probably created by the few descendants of the ancient Atlanteans. The primitive worshippers of Plaseia associated with her with the power of imagination and, therefore, with the fight against fear. It is in this period that she is represented with a butterfly as a metaphor of creative thinking, which takes a small idea, worm, to transform it into something better, butterfly. Should be a caterpillar, right? With the establishment of the classical Greek pantheon, the cult of Plaseia became archaic and primitive, and eventually disappeared. However, Plaseia herself, with her powers weakened, continued to wander Hemera in search, albeit with little hope, of those few humans who are willing to make the world a better place. Alright, well, I guess we go and meet Nemo then. All 4 challenges done. That actually wasn't too bad. Those last 2 were quite quick compared to the first 2, I think. Probably go and check out that statue that was in the middle, right? That came out of the ground. I mean, it makes sense, the whole butterfly insignia thing now. Why didn't that door shut? Maybe that's the only one that shuts, I don't know. Plasea's challenge is completed. Okay.
Captain, you must see this. In this signaled place rests the Flame of Hephaestus, power, and also the curse of Atlantis.
Nice.
Only those blessed with the compass of destiny will be able to navigate the horrible dangers that surround the island of the ancestors, last guardians of the divine flame.
The compass of destiny? Of course. An X on the map was way too easy. It seems that the journey will be prolonged more than I planned, but you have made a wonderful discovery. Can I count you in for the remaining voyage?
Nemo, from what I've just seen, it's just the beginning of it. You can count me in. I want to see the rest.
Fantastic. Come on. Adventure waits for us.
Well, and that's how Nemo ended up
Legends about
staying,
the
I guess.
Ancestors' Island spoke of an area filled with magnetic disturbances and violent currents surrounding it, making it unreachable to those who weren't guided by the compass of destiny. For months, we sailed the 7 seas, looking for clues about that fantastic artifact. The first solid sign was found at the nameless city, buried under the sands of Arabia. Thanks to it, we could reach a manifesto, written in the year 246 before our era, with the name of the ships that had engaged trade with the ancestors and therefore carried the compass of destiny on board. Those months of exploration were the most fascinating times I've had the luck to experience so far. How everything has changed since then.
It would have been pretty cool to be able to play this whole bit, like going and like looking in the desert for the ruins and stuff. That would have been fun. Looks like we're not going to get to do that though, which is a shame actually. Chapter 6, A Slippery Truth. Somewhere in the Southern Ocean, April 4th.
We must stop Nemo. Whatever it takes. Maybe I can win some time by sabotaging the Nautilus. It's already ruined. Nobody will be suspicious of me. I hope.
Well, I wouldn't count on that, to be quite honest with you. That seems like a pretty bad idea. Yeah, weirdly we didn't complete the primordial side mission, but I didn't see another tablet laying around anywhere. We looked everywhere. So, is this... That's cool. Let's leave that playing.
The best approach is going for the most damaged system. If I find Maddie, maybe I can get a clue. She knows everything going on inside this prison.
Alright, sabotage. New story missions. We've got to find Maddie then. So where would Maddie be? We are the Nautilus. I think I've said it before, those posters are pretty cool. Let's see if we can grab a map. So we're here. Where would Maddie be? Is she in the core? Find Maddie. Okay, so it doesn't actually seem to want to give us a location, so I'm guessing we're going to have to just like do it ourselves. Maybe in the mess room actually. We have got the elevator here. What does this do?
We
again?
are underwater. I can't go outside.
Oh yeah. And can we... No, we can't open up the hatches. Alright, let's see if we can go to the mess room. Yeah, the mess hall, because that seems like where people might be, right? Let's see. This is pretty cool. I love that you can see everything going past the window. That is really nice. Alright, we're in the mess room. So, I don't think we've ever been in here, honestly. Alright, there's somebody here. Let's just have a look around. Can we? We can play darts. That's pretty cool. Can we play? Does it literally just?
Yes.
I like that. That's a nice little touch. Oh, this is locked. Whatever this is. Resist the tyranny of the nation. I think we've seen that one before, haven't we? Right, we can't go into the kitchen. Does anyone know where Maddie is? Is this Maddie?
Salut, Monsieur Verne. What do you fancy?
It's very dark in here.
Yeah, it is
Akos
actually.
was working to fix the aluminum that powered this area, but... You know.
I wish I could have saved Akos, but I arrived too late.
A toast for Akos. May he be in a better place.
What's Verne's face about? Take a drink with Sarah. Oh,
I'd
cool.
rather be alone. Recalling Akos has saddened me.
Okay, we'll leave you to it. All right. Well, not in the mess hall then. Maybe the bunks. Maybe the bunks. Let's see. We've also got library and cabins. I mean, she could just be in her cabin. I don't know if she has a cabin. I'm assuming that she does. Alright, nothing in particular there. Let's see if we've got anything here. No. 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 Oh, what's this? Nautilus 2. Okay, about the energy of the Nautilus. There is a powerful agent, obedient, rapid, easy, which conforms to every use and reigns supreme on board my vessel. Everything is done by means of it. It lights, warms it, and is the soul of my mechanical apparatus. The agent is electricity. My electricity is not everybody's. Your readers may know what seawater is composed of. In 1,000 grams are found 96.5% of water, and about 2 2/3% of chloride of sodium. Then, in a smaller quantity, chlorides of magnesium and of potassium, bromide of magnesium, sulfate of magnesia, sulfate and carbonate of lime. You see then that chloride of sodium forms a large part of it. So it is this sodium that I extract from the seawater and of which I compose my ingredients. I owe all to the ocean. It produces electricity, and electricity gives heat, light, motion, and, in a word, life to the Nautilus. These little things are fascinating. They're really, really cool. Ooh, new side mission. Nautilus's soul. Alright. Find the other 2 documents. So there's going to be other documents to find which tell us a bit more about the Nautilus as well. So we'll be on the lookout for those, I think. So we are in the bunks now. So really we're going to have to go back up. Maybe we could go to the lab level and just look there before we head to like the western side of the ship. I don't know. Let's do that. Let's go up to the lab. If this doesn't work, then we'll go back down and go through the library, I suppose. But I'll tell you what, we're out of time anyway, so we'll leave it here and we'll continue looking around in the next one. So as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to my patrons, Arcades Games, Wayne, Nate, Terminally Nerdy, Paul from the Phantom Fellows, Lyle, Barry Aldridge, Hobo, Numinous Coumadin, and Paul Leone. And I'll see you next time.